Yo, what's up you guys? Happy Friday. It is Friday, September 17th, live from the City of Angels in Los Angeles. I'm Sean Healy. This is Music Business 101, a Q&A, and today's guest is Bigg A, who is the Vice President of Dogg Records, Compton native. We're going to talk about Eazy-E. We're going to talk about Snoop Dogg. We're going to talk about Daz Corrupt and the early days of West Coast hip hop. So Bigg A is going to be joining us in a few minutes. I wanted to get you guys up to date with what's going on with SHP, what's going on with touring, what's going on with mandates and all that stuff. So let me first off start by saying this is our 14th version of this. We started this in July of 2020. And at that point, it was a status of the live music scene. So we've had some wonderful guests on here. You guys can always go back and listen to these. The link is in the bio to see all of these. If you missed any of them, there's some really good ones, including Crooked Eye, Steve Lobel, Adrian Miller, Atron Gregory, Mitch Blackman. They're all available. The link in our bio if you want to watch this at another time. It'll live forever. Our Spotify is at Sean Healy Presents. These are also on there. And our YouTube is at Sean Healy Presents. So check this whole thing out, man, because we're going to dig into West Coast hip hop. We're going to dig into Eazy-E. Bigg A was a close personal friend of his. So we're going to take questions at the bottom. But I want to let you guys know what's going on. So we're in Los Angeles. This is the second version that we're doing in our new offices. Our offices are in the Valley, which is awesome. I used to think the Valley sucked, but now people are getting blown up on Melrose, where we used to be forever. So stoked to be out in the Valley. I got David here helping me out, so he'll watch the questions on the bottom. And if you want to get in here, you certainly can. Wanted to let you guys know what's coming up. So the next one we're going to do is October 29th. That's going to be with Madeline Nelson. Madeline Nelson's the president of Head Music. She's also Wyclef's manager. So we're going to talk to Madeline Nelson. That's October 29th. And then on November 19th, I'm going to have a very close friend of mine, Jamie Adler. Jamie Adler will be on here November 17th. And that one's going to be War Stories from the Road. So we're going to be talking about war stories of being on tour and things, the crazy shit that's happened. So that's November 19th with Jamie Adler. If you guys want to book with us, webookbands.com. If you're interested in any of our merchandise, shpmarket.com. We still have cool shit. These are up now. These Vax and Chill t-shirts. You can get them at shpmarket.com. All of our merch is cheap, is awesome. Cheap meaning the price. Go to shpmarket.com. You'll help support us. But we're back. We're doing shows all over the place. Last night we did Portland. Tonight we're in Seattle. We did the Troubadour last week. So things are moving. But here's the thing. One thing you guys got to know is that, especially in Los Angeles, it's becoming vaccine only, not vaccine and negative test. You legit, if you are an artist in Los Angeles and you're going to perform inside a venue, you have to be vaccinated. Those are the rules. That's what they're saying. So get the shot. Nobody's died from getting the shot, I promise. I'm not here to preach about the vaccine, but obviously you're going to have it in order to do certain things. And Los Angeles is moving towards that. Right now, some of the venues, it's up to their discretion, but Los Angeles proper, by October 7th, you will have to show a vaccine card in order to perform and in order to go see a band. So think about it, get the shot. It's no big deal, and you'll feel like $1 million because you got the shit and you're protected from all that stuff. So I'm going to bring Bigg A in here in a second. Just a couple more quick notes. We have Echo coming up at the Hawthorne Theater in Portland next week. We have Cal Scrubby in LA. It's been sold out for 2 years. That's on November 24th. And then we have Phoenix Flexin from Shoreline Mafia. That's in Phoenix Flexin in Phoenix next Saturday the 25th. And then of course we are having our 25th anniversary party at a secret location in Los Angeles next Saturday. And if you stay till the end of this, I'm going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the first person who can answer a trivia question. So I'm going to give the question at the end of the interview. First person that DMs me with the right answer will get 2 tickets to our 25th anniversary party, which is on September 25th at the Viper Room. Okay, now I'm going to bring Bigg A in here. I see him in here. I need him to request one more time. But I just need him to request to get in here, and then we'll do it. If you want to be an opener for stuff, available gigs, email the link in the bio. It'll say put your email in there. You'll get an email blast every Monday, and when that happens, we will. Let me get him in here. I need him to request back in. So if you want to find out what shows we have, where they are, how you can get on them, you basically just give us your email address. So go to the link in the bio and put it in there. And every Monday we send out a blast to everyone around the country. It says what we're looking for, where we're looking for, and then you call the office. We screen your music. And like I said, with the vaccine, some of the cities are different and they're changing. But LA is vax only and Phoenix is whatever. So go figure. All right, here we go. We got Bigg A here. I've known Bigg A for a minute. Here we go. Popping in just there he is.
There he is.
How you doing, man?
It's a blessing, Sean. It's definitely a blessing, man, to get you back in my visuals.
Look at that new hair I got.
I love the Santa Claus, man. You know, I've seen it progress, right?
Yeah. I got the Jay Leno, man.
The last time I came to your office, the old office, it was black. I said, okay. And then after the COVID, I started seeing little press. I said, wait a minute, he's going there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's one of the fun things about doing this is that some people I haven't seen in, since the early 2020 when my hair was black and spiky. So, if anything good came out of the shutdown, it was the fact that I could finally let the thing do what it was going to do.
Absolutely, man. But no, that's great, man. You're looking great. By you being Sean Healy, it fits you, Sean.
I appreciate that, man. Well, hey, it was time. And I was telling the audience earlier, this is our 25th anniversary this year.
Yes, so, it is. I got my invite. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
yes,
so we've been around for a minute. And, we've been working together for, probably at least a decade, if not longer.
Right. Exactly. Well, of course, man. I mean, it was just an honor to get the first call. Jamie hooked us up. And once you called me, we was off and running from there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to get into it. And I want to hear, and I want everyone who's watching to hear about your journey, and how you started and how you got into the business, and you've obviously have longevity in it.
Yeah.
So I want to start off with your early beginnings, because from what I understand, you're Compton born and raised. You're Compton native.
Straight off the city, man, off the beach, in Laundry and Long Beach Boulevard, man. You know what I mean? Between the Laundry and Greenleaf on the east side, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so you grew up in Compton, and you were actually looking for a way out of there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you know, when you having fun as a youngster, remember we were young, man. So as you get older, when you start hitting the 17s and 18s, right? Okay, I had enough of this. Now some of it was just about that life, you know what I mean? But, I was a high school graduate, and my motivation was my grandmother, rest in peace. She told me, Arnold, I see you're going to wind up being nothing. And I told my grandmother at 16, I'm going to prove you wrong. You know what I mean? And that was my motivation because she raised me. You know what I mean? And to prove her wrong was my motivation to succeed and get that diploma, because that's all she asked. Get the diploma. And I never knew the value of the diploma. I just knew that's something that you had to do. And, gang banging, going back and forth to jail, camp, I learned something. And my changeover was when I went to camp. I went to a juvenile camp right at high school. My first year in high school, 12th grade. At the beginning of the year, I went to school, checked in, and maybe a month later got in some serious trouble and caught a case. And while I was fighting that case, I continued my education in school, in jail, in camp. And
Wow.
and you know what? That was the best thing that happened to me because I didn't have all the rhetoric of being in a public school system at school with the homies in and out ditching. It was really focusing on yourself, and I was able to continue to get in high school at Camp Miller. I
Nice.
didn't know that going in high school and camp will be credit towards graduation. So while in
Wow.
camp, and I only went to school because you had a choice: go play basketball, go work in the
Yeah.
kitchen, or go to school. I decided to go to school because it
And
was.
so when you got out of there, you went to New Jersey?
When I got out of camp, I graduated. After I graduated from high school, um, I decided to go to college. I went to Compton College for auto mechanics, right? Because back in the days when we were coming up, you can go to auto mechanic school, welding school, get some money, get the uniform. We had trade techs, so
Yeah.
the auto mechanic thing wasn't good for me because I didn't like getting my fingers greasy and dirty. So I decided to go to design drafting school. So going to design drafting school because I admired Lloyd Wright. He was an architect. I admired that he drew houses and big skyscrapers. So um, I went to school for drafting, graduated, gave myself 30 days to get a job in the aerospace industry, Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop. That didn't work. So I decided to take that high school diploma and see how valuable it was. Went to an Army recruiter because I didn't want to go back to counting. I didn't want to go back. I
Right.
was forward. But you got to find it within yourself. You have to adjust. And I found it within myself to continue on. So I went to the military, man, and that's how it all began.
And when you were in the military, you were stationed in New Jersey?
I left Anchorage, Alaska. I was at McGuire Fort Richardson
Wow.
Air Force Base in Anchorage, Alaska.
So you went Compton to Alaska?
I went Compton to Alaska, man.
Wow. Damn.
24 hours a day, like living on Arctic. I mean, it was cold weather training because I was in the military. So I
Yeah.
learned cold weather survival techniques and, everything. Nuclear warheads was up there in Anchorage, a lot of things. So when I transferred from there, I went to New Jersey, Fort Dix. And transferring
Yeah.
to Fort Dix to the East Coast, it blew my mind coming from the West Coast. Big
Right.
city, was a different shock value. You know what I mean?
Now, I want to get into the story of the concert, but I
Yeah.
want to backtrack just for the audience. So
Okay.
when you were growing up as a kid in Compton, how did you and Eric Eazy-E meet?
We didn't meet. We grew up together. I lived right around the corner from him. I lived on Caress. He lived the next block over on Muriel. So he was Eric was quiet. His mother and father was, they wasn't about our lives. So he admired us because we was burglarizing, stealing cars, and he was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." You know what I mean? But we never wanted to get Eric in trouble because we would have caught the wrath of Mr. Wright. He wasn't no joke. He was a postal worker. So
Okay.
we wouldn't let Eric break in the house with us. We'd tell him to watch out, stay outside. If you see any police, whistle. And you know what I mean? So we kept him safe, but he admired that bullshit we was going through. And one thing Eric didn't do, he never got high, man. We were drinking 40, smoking weed, angel dust. And he like, "Oh, man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping." So he knew it was some money being made because we were spending the money. We go do a burger to the car. And he like, "Dang, man, y'all tripping." So from there, he had a cousin who was in the game. And since Eric didn't do drugs, was worthy, he didn't do anything. So what happened was I left and joined the Army in 84.
Yeah. So was Eric younger than you?
He was 2 years younger.
Okay.
2 years younger, 2 or 3 years younger than me. So we were like the big old.
So you leave Compton to go to Alaska and you say, I'm Eric, I'm out. You say, hey guys.
No, what happened was I went to New Jersey. There was a concert with Kumo D, Heavy D and the Boys, Run DMC, everything I was listening to for 2 years out there. I'm going just to get off base. And when I get to the concert, which was in Philadelphia, you know what I mean, and Philly, Pennsylvania, which is the next state over from New Jersey, I didn't know it was 45 minutes away on the turnpike. I got to the stadium, had the nosebleed seats, enjoying the concert, enjoying the music I was hearing on the East Coast, because I didn't hear anything on the West Coast.
Were you by yourself, or did you have
I was by
friends with
myself.
you?
I was by myself. Yeah, I was by myself. And I remember being in the nosebleed seats, and the lights cut off. I think it was right after Run DMC or something came on. And right after that, y'all ready for some motherfuckers out straight out of Compton? I'm like, damn, what is that? So just being out of curious, yo, Compton, all right. NWA, niggas with attitude. I'm like, wow, that's deep. And they came out with straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
So
Now,
was
that 89?
That was 89. Yeah, that was 89.
Right. So I don't know if you know this, and we'll get back to it, but there's a video of that concert on YouTube.
Exactly. That's
At
what
the
it blew my
Philadelphia
mind, man.
Spectrum.
Yeah, it blew my mind, man. You know what I mean? And so I can remember it's like going to the payphone inside the arena, you know, hey man, call my little brother. Hey man, what's this NWA? Oh man, that's Eazy-E and Dre then. Ren. Who? Easy. Who in the fuck is Easy? He said, Eric, man. What? Who Eric? He said, man, Eric right around the corner of Mirror. He Eazy-E now, cuz he never came back to the neighborhood. What you mean? Hung up the phone, man. And I just took a V-line from the nosebleed straight to the stage. Security pulling me back. And he just happened to see the commotion and he recognized me. He's, oh, he good. Let me come to the side of the stage, man. And that's what took my mind away. Like, this is my homeboy. And he gave me his business card. Like, dang, man. He said, I thought you was locked up, Warren. Like, nah, man, I've been in the Army. And he left. He said, the Army, you know what I mean? He said, man, call me sometime. He gave me his business card, man. No, Jerry gave me his business card. Jerry Heller.
Now, did you know the other guys? Were you aware of Dre or
I
any of
knew
the
I
other guys?
knew Dre because Dre lived on Thorson. That's Warren G's brother. He lived around the corner from us. I knew Ren. You know what I mean? And to see my homies, like, wow. It just blew my mind. So I never bothered Eric when I was on the East Coast. I just knew I was coming home in about a year, right? Ended 89, beginning of 90. And as soon as I came on, it's the first person I called, man. I called Easy.
And you get to Eazy, and Eazy says, yo, you got to come check out my record label, my compound, right?
Well, he said, Orange. He said, you home? I'm like, yeah. He said, man, come to my office. I'm like, where is that at? He said, Woodland Hills. Where in the fuck is that at, man? You know, we was Compton, Long Beach, Linwood.
Yeah.
We was Watts. He said, man, it's about maybe an hour out of LA, man. You know what I mean? So I got to ride out there. I drove out there. Actually, I borrowed my mommy's cars and went to his office, man, and walked in. And at that time, there was some things going on. At that time, a little stuff was going on. And before everything blew up, he let me know what had happened, man. He said, man, Dre still living in my house down the street from me. He said, ain't really no issues, Bigg A. He said, ain't no risk on the arm. He said, man, he still living in my house, man. I'm like, damn, because I didn't know he had bought 3 houses on the same block. Jerry's, his, and then the Playhouse. You know.
So you go see him and you're like, wow, man, he really did it. And you see the gold records on the wall.
Yeah, and at that time he was just, you know, what was I doing now? When I came home, I immediately got a job at the Long Beach Naval Shipyard. I just wanted to be a regular person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that he was Eazy-E. He was still Eric to me. He was my homeboy that was successful. Because, you know, we had a lot of homeboys in the game that got successful. So we didn't look at, you know, I looked at him eye to eye.
Gotcha.
So, because of all the stuff that was going on in Compton, he would call me all the time, hey, Orange, hey man, because, you know, we did the Bloods Bush Banging on Wax project. So when he seen that, he was like, Orange, bring them to K-Day, man. I got my own show. Okay. So we brought my cousin Sinlock and Blue Rag to K-Day when he, to the Beat, when he had his Ruthless Radio show on the Beat.
So what's your first taste of the music business? After you see Eazy-E in Woodland Hills, how do you start getting into music?
I didn't have appetite for it at that time. I mean, I had a $20 an hour job at the Long Beach Naval Shipyard. You know what I mean? I was the maintenance supervisor, so I just was happy I reconnected with him. But he would call me, like when he did the Arsenio Hall show, got tickets to that, go up there and see him on that. You know, just homeboy shit. Hey, Orange, hey, you know, do this, come to, you know, do things like that. So he said he was coming to shoot the video, Real Compton City G's. and he wanted me to bring my video camera because I taped everything at that time. I used to work with Rap Sheet, Daryl James. So a lot of my homeboys didn't read and write, so I started a video magazine called Street Beat Video Magazine, right? So he said, man, bring your camera up here and get all the behind the scenes footage. So that's some of the stuff you see online, all that stuff, the behind the scenes stuff, that's my footage.
Wow, so you still have all that stuff?
Yeah, I still got that stuff. And if you can look at it
Is
online,
it
I did a documentary. Me and Lil Eazy did a
yeah.
documentary on Eazy. It's called The Life and Times of Eric Wright.
So
the funeral footage and all that, that's me. I
so
put
when
that
you
together.
when you so you start documenting you start helping out with the video, and then does he bring you on board, or how does it,
No,
what's the
we used to
next
stay home, but he just gave me access. So during
okay.
getting access, I used to ask him a lot of questions about the business. You know what I mean? Like he was telling me that he's finna start his own manufacturing distribution company. I'm like, what is that? He said, well, right now I got a record deal with Priority Records and several other record labels, but I don't manufacture or distribute my own music. I got to get to that. I'm like, what's the difference? He said, well, right now I'm one of the highest paid entertainers in the business. Michael Jackson is the highest. He said, I get like 69, 70 cents a record. I'm like, what are you talking, a record? I said, Eric, I'll buy a record for $39.99. He said, I know. He said, you got to have a hookup directly with the Sam Goodies and Tower Records. And, you know, I know Violet Brown, and she already let me know when I'm ready to go to that level. So him and Michael Bivins was going to start the first black owned. It was him and Michael Bivins. Michael
Yeah.
Bivins, all them groups on the East Coast. Eric had At Band Clan and Blood Abraham. He had everything, Terry B. So he had about 50 acts over here. So they was going to combine their labels together and distribute all their acts directly as a vendor account with Violet, Tower Records, and all that. That was his plan. To get,
Yeah.
Shelby said, in order to get to $6, $7, $8 on, you got to produce the group, you got to manufacture the group, and you have to distribute the group directly to retail. Then you get, I'm like, what? So he kind of gave me the blueprint. So he said, man, I need you to get a record shop. I said, man, I ain't get no motherfucking record shop. Dog. I'm working at the shipyard. He said, oh, I'm telling you, I was going to get one. But get a record shop so when I get my distribution going on, you get one store, we get two stores in Compton, though. But get a record shop. So years passed, couple years passed, few years passed. After Real Compton City G's, you know, he gets sick and he passes away.
Yeah.
And it was
Were you
devastating.
were you oh, go ahead.
It was devastating. You know what I mean? Because I knew he had a lot of kids. You know, at that time, not a lot of kids, but I knew about 4 of his children at that time. Because I lived around the corner. I seen Erica and EB and little Easy and Derek. I knew Joyce. These were my homegirls. You know what I mean? So when he got sick, you know, I thank God, man, that I was able to go talk to him. A lot of people don't know that, but me and my brother Blue Rag, we got to go up there. Miss Wright gave me a call. Like, Arnold, Eric is in the hospital. You probably need to go see him because he's not doing well. So I'm like, where he at, Moms? He's like, he's at Cedar Sinai. I don't know which room, but he's at Cedar Sinai. I'm like, okay. So I told my little brother, let's go up here, man, see Eric, man. They say he ain't doing good. Because nobody knew he was in the hospital. They kept it off the radar.
Yeah.
So we got a chance to go up there and have our last conversations with him. You know, he was in the room. It was right before he was going to get married, right before he was going to have surgery on the 15th of March. He was going to have surgery to remove some of the fluid from his lungs. But, you know, he got into a coma and never recovered from that. So that's a whole nother story. But anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, did you so I want the record store. So he basically was like, dude, you got to open this because we're going to open more, and we're going to you're going to get my records first.
Yes.
He probably was saying we'll do in stores and all that
Yes,
stuff. So.
he was just he gave me that. And what really motivated me was Jerry Heller. So at the time of the wake, we went with the family. It was a private viewing of the body, Eric's body. So we went up there with Miss Wright. It was family. And Jerry and Mustafa, rest in peace, security, the one that got shot for Eric, that took a bullet for Eazy, was up there. But I didn't know they was up there. So I was inside with Mrs. Wright and the sisters and the family viewing Eric's body. They had the Muslims protecting him because the night before, people went there to see him and they took the Compton hat off his head. So they put a red rope around it and two Muslim bodyguards where you can just view the body. So, you know, I had my camera, so I didn't get none of that. But as we was coming out, we seen Ruthless 2, which was Jerry's BMW, and we seen Mustafa's limousine. They kind of had me blocked in. I'm like, man, that's Jerry Heller. He's in there. So I went and got my camera. I cut it on record. I said, man, it's Jerry Heller. And what I'm doing, Sean, is I'm videotaping Jerry's BMW because it was Ruthless 2. You know, he bought 2 BMWs. Ruthless 1 and Ruthless 2 with the license plates. Gave one to Jerry, and he kept the one and gave number 2 to Jerry. Both of them were white. So I know that car. So I'm videotaping the car, narrating, and I didn't know that Mustafa's wife was sitting in the limousine in the dark. So she called in to Jerry and Mustafa, hey, we got some black guys out here. We might have a problem. You know, Jerry kept that 25 automatic in his pocket.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So let me finish the story. We sat in the car with the camera ready just to get an interview from Jerry. So when they came out, his wife pointed at us out the back of the limo, and Mustafa came over there and said, oh, it's fucking Arnold, and gave Jerry the signal. It's cool. Come over here. So he's like, what's up, guy? I said, Jerry, I'm just trying to get an interview from Miss Wright, man, the family, man. I know you work with Eric, and is there anything good to say? And you can go online and see that. He said, yeah, you on? I'm like, yeah. So he said, Jerry, he said, you know, Katie, Richard, it's a sad day in hip-hop. It's a very sad day. He said, Eazy was brilliant. He was smarter than all of us combined. He said, Eazy was the kind of person that can make 2 + 2 = 5.
Yeah.
He said anything he touched turned to gold. So I remember
he was an entrepreneur.
I remembered that. Now, we were visionary and futurists at a young age, but it was just on the negative side, right? So I went back to work, and I remembered that when we was editing this footage, I remember Jerry saying that. I'm like, damn, Eric left me some jewels. I got to take advantage of what he left me, the game, the knowledge. So that's when they shut the shipyard down. President Clinton shut the shipyard down, and I was like, damn, man, I'm tired of being a fucking employee. And the first thing came to my mind was the record shop. I said, I'm going to ride this out for the next year. I'm going to save my fucking money and get me a building. And I got the building right around the corner from our house in Compton. And I just said, we're going to call it Underworld Records and Tapes and dedicate it to the memory of Eazy-E.
And did you fund that record store yourself?
I funded the record. I didn't even know how to get a seller's permit. I didn't know how to get a business license. So what I did, I went to Royce Fortune, VIP Records, VIP Music, and looked at the setup, right? Looked at the wall, seen the seller's permit. I didn't know what a wholesale license was. So I put together this without asking. So I got the building. I knew I wanted the record shop, and I started buying wholesale cases, and the rest is history, man. I just dedicated the record store to Eazy-E. So what fans started doing was sending me drawings, pictures, poems, pictures of Eric, and I would frame them up and put them on the wall. So Ms. Wright came up there one day, oh, Arnold, this is nice, but bring the kids up here so they can see it. You know, pictures of their dad, NWA. So she started bringing little Eazy up there, you know, and that's how the beginning of the relationship started. So the record shop, he told me, you get the record shop on, you'll be in the business. And I didn't know what he meant by that. So when I got the record shop, to be in competition with VIP Records and Royce Fortune, and to represent Compton and Eazy-E, the record label started coming to me.
Is this early 90s?
It's early 90s. This is like 97, 98.
Yeah, so for those for the youngins, a CD used to be like $15.99. So, you know, you had saved your money, and you'd have to go, and you liked every song, otherwise you were out $15.
Yeah, and I had to fight through a lot of stuff. And you know, getting into the music business, the record shop business, the retail, I didn't know the politics. I didn't know how to get marketing dollars. It was all blank to me. At the end of the day, I wound up being big, like Tower Records Compton. I had all the billboards. I had my own team. I started doing marketing for the record labels, buying wall space, light boxes. I made more money on urban music dollars. And I was a non-sound scan store when I first started. And then started making it hot in my community, you know, selling records, Start getting in stores. Queen Latifah, Goody Mob, Cash Money, when they first got their first record, Baby, and Lil Wayne then came to my store for 2 hours. So the record label started seeing how I was marketing my music, my business. Now it was Pete Jones. After 6 years of this business, man, it was Pete Jones, president of BMG, put me to the side today and said he was retiring, getting into the digital world. I'm like, what the fuck you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the digital world?
Yeah, and he had I remember because I used to battle the distributors as a retailer. I used to battle the distributors because you remember they used to have RCA buy a record for 1 penny and all that.
Oh yeah, that big scam.
Yeah. So
And the TV guide.
yeah, I was like, Jesus, crazy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by being on the internet, I remember Abbey Road used to have the online music portal. So they would give VIP records in all them stores, the VIP, they would give them a storefront. Meaning Calvin didn't have to have Elvis Presley in the store. He could click it and get it right from Abbey Road and send it right to him, right? And it was Mr. Greensburg there. I remember them guys. So I got kind of pissed off, like, damn, I can't get an account with Abbey Road. No, you got to make $12,000 a month and be a member. I'm like, damn. So I decided to start my own coalition, association called Worldwide Unified Retail Association. So I took about 50 retailers in LA, independent swap meet stores, corner stores, started having meetings at my record shop about what they wasn't getting from the record labels. So because I had record labels coming to me, I started telling them I need to have my coalition meeting at their store. At their labels. And that's how I started my coalition thing. So it was Pete Jones and Rick Blywest that started coming to the store and trying to pick my brain. So
How long was the store open?
I stayed open a good 6-7 years, man, hard. I closed it because of the digital age, because of Napster. When BMG bought Napster, the Bartelsman Group bought Napster.
Yeah.
31 million.
2001 or 2?
Yeah, because of $31 million because of the IPS addresses that Napster accumulated from file sharing. They wanted that data, right? So BMG, people don't know, started an online store. It was called Click and One, something like that. You can buy a record directly. So, I'm military. I know about the Geneva Convention. You don't see the paratrooper when he's coming down. So the record label's the same way. The record label, we're going to be a distributor. You're going to be a record label. You sign the artist, everybody get a taste.
Yeah.
You got to go to the record shop to get the artist. BMG and distributors like, fuck that. We're going direct to the consumer. And I was like, that's fucked up because y'all selling records for $9.99 online.
Yeah.
Right? But you making me buy it for $9. You making me buy it for $10.97 wholesale at Abbey Road. It's not fair.
Yeah.
So it was Rick Blywest from BMG who put me to the side. He said, man, you got to close that store. He said, Arnold, you're good in the streets with the artists. Take the music back. I said, what the fuck you mean? Take the music back. He said, you got all the friends that rap. They're making this music in their garage. They bring it to us. It's out of our hands once it gets to retail. He said, but I'm telling you something, man. With this nanotechnology, the record shop's going to be out of here because he said, we finna close all the one-stops down.
Oh, yeah. And how soon after that did you actually close?
Well, at that time, I was transitioning because at that time, when he gave me that game, I started working for Scotty Brothers Records. I worked the Shiloh, the Skilo record. Cocaine got a deal over at Scotty Brothers, BG Knockout, Gangster. I started doing street team stuff and left the store to my little brother as a wind down.
Got it.
And between all of that, I'm learning the executive street team stuff now. I'm learning that. I'm working with the artists and giving them the Eazy-E blueprint, but they were artists still. So the executive director, Cool Dre, that worked at Scotty Brothers, really pulled me in on the executive side of that business. So he came to my store one day, he said, man, this is a fucking gold mine, right? And he gave me more of the aspect of the business and then let me know how to take care of the artists. But it was Beverly Brothers, Snoop's mother. I did not know her. That came to my store and asked me to DJ her party. She came in to buy a record one day. And I ordered it online from Abbey Road. They had one left called Lady in Red. I went and got it. She came back the next day. She said, wow, that is customer service. Yeah. I didn't know she was, I just, customer service, Sean.
Yeah.
He said, hey, you DJ? I'm like, yes, because I had a DJ set up in the store, you know. I said, yes. She said, I'm having a party in 2 weeks in Long Beach. Can you DJ it for me? I'm like, yes. So from that point on, I charged her $150. I said, give me 25 songs that you want to hear at your party. She gave me a list of old school songs. First thing I did, went to Napster and downloaded them. Burned
Yeah.
them on CD.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So so you obviously, transition and people are telling you what's up and you're following it and you're doing it. At what point do you meet Daz and Corrupt
This is how
and
it happened.
Warren G?
I'm telling you, this is how it happened. I'm not knowing this is Snoop Dogg's mother, regular consumer. She asked me to DJ her party in Long Beach at the Radisson Hotel. Don't know who she is. When I get there, I'm looking at El DeBarge and Lenny Williams. They asked me, you got a microphone? Like, yeah. She said, we serenading Beverly tonight. You got my songs? Yeah, right? And I didn't know who she was, but I started seeing Nate Dogg, Trady Goldie, Daz, his wife. There's all the wives, girlfriends, and them coming to Snoop Dogg's mother's birthday party. So they gave me the signal. He put on Lady in Red, and I didn't know she was Snoop Dogg's mother until he walked her down the stairs and brought her in and did the first dance with her. I'm like, wow. Now you remember, I'm ruthless. I'm Compton. This is Death Row Law. I'm like, oh my God, right? So I stayed professional, did a great job. All the girlfriends and aunties and mothers was one of my business cards because I'm DJing for Beverly, Snoop's mother. You're going to DJ for us in our parties and our baby showers. So
Nice.
Snoop came and gave me a tip, like, good looking OG. Thanks, Snoop. Got a picture with him for the record shop. Once that interaction came, Daz's wife came to me. She was pregnant with Daz's first child, Dasmine. And asked my business card. 2 weeks later, she called me, came to my store. That's how it happened. Once she came to my store,
So from that party, that's how you really connected with
that's how
Daz and
I connected.
Corrupt and
Now,
Snoop.
hired me to DJ Daz's Death Row going away party on a yacht in Long Beach. So I DJ'd that party. That's when I
Who's
met
on that? Who's
everybody.
at that party?
Oh man, what you talking about, Death Row? Every homie from Long Beach that wasn't on Death Row, that was from Insane and Rolling 20s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they gave me the love, man. They gave me all the love in the world, man. And it was Daz's wife who kind of stuck to me because she came to my store and seen I had a little magazine called Worldwide Update. I took the Jet magazine and made it a Worldwide Update magazine. I took that blueprint, made my own magazine for advertising dollars from the record labels. So she wanted to start her own magazine. So I helped her start her own magazine, which is called B&P magazine. So I started taking her around to all the parties and stuff, getting pictures. And she started letting me come to their mansion in Mission Viejo in Daz's house. So
Wow.
Daz was kind enough to let me help his wife with his magazine. So he pressed up his record raw, came to me to help sell it. I bought 100. So it sold 100 pieces to Dan on Pico. And then Music Merchandisers over there in Leimert Park. From there, we was off to the races. I told Daz, bring me all them records, man. You ain't got to run around out the trunk. Ride with me. So since I was a retailer, had all those connections with mom and pop stores, I'm bringing Daz to the stores. They buying 10, 20. So how I got to the corporate structure. See, right now, I realized I had a passion for the music business now.
Yeah.
So how do I monetize my passion? You have a passion.
Now, back then, did anyone do any sort of contracts, or was it just a handshake?
In the streets, you have credibility. We don't do contracts. It was about loyalty, business, trust, and I accepted that when Daz would let me stay at his house all day with his family. He would never be there. You know, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is real. I don't want to fuck this up. You know, I'm
Yeah.
looking at plaques on the wall, his wife, his kids. This man, trust me. You know what I mean? And that's what I honored. I'm like, damn. So I gave him that back. And we became like brothers. So once he started listening to me and the Eazy-E blueprint, like, hey, Dad, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. press up our own records. I remember one day he got frustrated. He didn't have Death Row no more. He got frustrated. He said, man, I'm finna leave, Big. I said, where you going, man? We just getting started. He said, man, I'm finna go to the Bay, man, and get up there with them Bay and sell some verses. All right, I'm gonna be gone about a week. So he went up to the Bay Area. He called me the next day. He said, Big A, you need to come out here. It's cracking. I just made $60,000. You lying? He hooked up with JT, the bigger figure out there, and you know what I mean? And JT gave him the independent game. So
Wow.
that gave it to me. So we stayed in the Bay for a week. And I said, Daz, let's get back to LA, man. We got it. We got it. So
and then where does Corrupt come in the picture?
Corrupt came in the picture. You know, Corrupt was he was solo. He was with Entre. You know what I mean? Because Death Row had kind of like went crazy. All the artists was everywhere. So what happened was I met Corrupt. Daz, they did a show. Suave booked a show for Summer Jam in the Bay. So Daz said, man, we got a concert to do tomorrow. I'm like, cool. So we pressing up T-shirts out there. I said, Daz, we pressing up T-shirts. It's best for us. You spending $10 for a T-shirt. We can only sell them for $20. Let's just go buy a Polaroid camera and a gang of Polaroids, you know, and take pictures and sell them for $20. He said, what? Yeah, at the booth. Man, we would take.
The beginning of the meet and greet, man.
Yeah,
you were doing
man.
the meet and greet before anybody.
I'm like spending $10 on a shirt. We
Yeah.
get 19 on the Polaroid and $4.
And a Polaroid costs 25 cents. Yeah.
Man, $20 a shirt. So once so Corrupt flew in with Suave, Rock Summer Jam. They both said, if y'all want to get a T-shirt and take a picture with Daz, go to the booth. We had about 200 people at the booth, man.
That's amazing. And then, do you eventually become sort of the manager of Dog Pound, or is it more of a later situation?
I never considered myself a manager, and up to this day, I do not consider myself a manager. I consider myself an independent executive. So I do independent executive administration for everybody. I did it for Snoop with all the Welcome to the Church mixtapes and stuff and the independent films he put out. I took my resources. He gave me the master. I pressed it up. Daz gave me the masters. I pressed it up. Corrupt gave me the masters. We pressed it up. So I started pressing and distributing independent artists who didn't have the administrative business line and gave it to them. You know what I mean? I can remember when Trade E came home from prison. Snoop said, man, fuck with Bigg A. He helped you get your shit out there. Trade E came home from prison. He came to me with 2 records. And I pressed him up. Snoop, look out for him. And Trade E was off to the races after that. So I consider myself an independent executive administrator. Like with you, when we work together, you call Bigg A. You know, I'm going to get the guy, the Mob Deep show. You make sure you call Bigg A. So, when I'm on the road, I'm a tour manager. But when I'm at home, I'm the executive administration.
And so, what are you working on as we speak? What are you working on? What's in the life of Bigg A? What projects are in your head right now that you're working on?
Well, we got you know, the Rich and Ruthless Entertainment, which is little Eazy-E. Me and him are business partners. My little nephew got him on Grown Up Hip Hop. He's on his 7th season on television on WeTV. So we run the label and our distribution and our cannabis business. Rich and Ruthless Cannabis is out there in 82 stores up and down the coast of California legally. We got Nuggle, which is a Weed Maps Leafy type of app. It's more of a search engine. We finna do more of social media with that. Nuggles, a public traded company. Dog Pound just released a DPG for Life album, working on Dog Food.
Yeah.
Corrupt's Pentagon Entertainment. I do all the Corrupts and Daz's executive administration for both their labels and their film companies. You know, it's a lot, man. But you know what? What I've learned is that I have a passion. You know, about 5 years ago for COVID, about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I wanted to retire. Fuck the business. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. You know, I'm good. You know, I get disability from the military. I'm good. You know what I mean? And Dad's like, man, you can never get out, Bigg A. I'm like, bullshit. But you know the one person that ain't let me out? It was God, man, because I gave myself to God at a really dark time in my life. I told him to take charge of me. I'm gonna follow your lead. So he'll let me know when it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean you've had just quite a career, man, and kudos to you. And it seems like everything that Eric told you in the beginning is still with you. And it seems like people helped and guided you and coached you and gave
Yes.
you the straight up on like, hey,
Right.
this is how it's done. This is how it's going to be. And you
Yes.
had some real solid people in your life giving
Yes.
you the right paths.
Yes. I mean, it was like, you know, when Daz gave me the opportunity, he gave me an opportunity. What I do with the opportunity, I do the best I can. And I do it with integrity and honesty and business minded. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Snoop watched me move. He gave me opportunity. Up to this day, he still give me opportunities to be who I am. I mean, I did his wife. I used to help her with Boss Lady Entertainment. She pressed up Lady of Rage's project. That was me that did all that for her because Snoop said, if you fuck with anybody, I trust Bigg A. You know, just that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so I learned to appreciate that and take those blessings, man, to get to the next level, which I know it's the man above. You know, I
Yeah.
never go on tour with Eazy. I never went to I went to one concert with Eazy when he told me to come to the Avalon when he did a showcase with Bone Thugs and Harmony and everybody else. You know what I mean?
Wow.
On tour buses and going around the world. That was from what, you know, my homie Suge, he built Death Row, and I was able to enjoy the fruits from Eazy's labor because with Eazy wouldn't be Death Row, wouldn't be Dr. Dre, touring, going on tour with Ice Cube, working with Dub C. I mean, just,
Mm-hmm.
you know, learning the game. Those guys trusted me and my business intellect and my business decisions. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, you trusted me to get the guys.
Oh man. It's I love doing this because I love to hear people the inside like stories and the history of
Right.
because you're obviously you're a legend in your lane. You're a legend, and you seem like there aren't a lot of guys like you that were able to work pre-digital and work post-digital and still be relative in
Exactly.
every aspect. You
Exactly.
know.
You know, I do sit
And
back.
now it's social media, and now it's weed and cannabis and all that, but you're on it, you know what I mean? And your circle's tight, you know?
Yeah. You know, I tell everybody, man, you know, in this business, they like, Bigg A, how do you do it? And can you give me some advice? The advice is love what you do, stay on your
Yeah.
lane, be careful on the toes you step on up because it'd be the ass you kissing your way down. You don't want to say, I'm
Yep.
sorry, or I told you so. So just come in it, you know, with your passion. Stay in your lane. I tell people, stay in your lane. If you're
And
if you're
yeah,
not,
and do good business. Do
do
good
good business.
business.
Yeah, because you know, and I know, Sean, this business is small.
Yeah.
One phone call. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're sitting here in these new offices and we're having this party, and we're 25 years, and it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yes.
crazy. And despite what people might say or think or whatever, we're 25 years. And if you call me and you need something, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna tell you here's what it is.
We're working on stuff now. We're working on stuff now. We just had Bigg
Of
A.
course,
You know what I mean? So I tell people,
of course.
you know, when I said, you know, I do this, I said, Sean been on me for a few months, man. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm waiting. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
I'm
But
not,
I got a little.
Sean,
I
I'm
got some
not.
here. There we go. I'll get
See
one of
there?
these to you.
You see what I'm saying? You
So
see what I'm saying?
yeah.
That right there was history.
So I said to Bigg A. So you guys, I don't know if you guys know the Viper Room or you don't know the Viper Room,
Yeah.
but the Viper Room is Johnny Depp's old club on Sunset. It holds
Yeah.
250 people. And
Right.
I said to Bigg A one night. I think you went to see Mobb Deep there. We did Mobb Deep there, and I
We
think you
did
were there.
Mob Deep and Dog Pound there. Wasn't that history? They had them
Yeah.
two in the same room and we rocked.
Yeah. And I said, no, I said, dude, you guys got to play here. And you
Yeah.
said, what? I said, yeah. I said, this is a good little look, man. This is a good slice. It's a good industry look. It's
Yeah.
just a good little dank spot. And you did it. And we did Dog Pound with Crooked Eye opening up. And that was it. 250 people at the Viper Room.
That's
So,
the intimate stuff. It's not always about the money. It's about the intimacy. It's about working with
of
brothers like you
course,
who can make one phone call. We're routing
of
some stuff
course.
now. We plan on routing some stuff now. I ain't gonna put too much of it out there, but like I tell
Yeah.
everybody, it's relationships. You know,
Yes, sir.
I got with AIG and Live Nation and the Bobby D's and the, just the ADs and just so much.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a couple quick questions for you,
Okay.
and then we'll wrap it up.
All
But
right.
and these were sent in to us, and if anyone else has questions, we'll take a couple in the bottom. What do you see as the main differences between marketing artists in the '90s to marketing artists now?
Marketing artists in the 90s, you had to put in fucking work, street team work. You had to hit the ground. People don't understand this new age shit is wide fucking open.
Instagram.
Marketing is it's just like if you was an online criminal back in the days, right? I mean, like criminal activity is right here. You can hide behind a fucking phone and break the bank. So with digital marketing, you can't just, I tell everybody, get a Facebook, get a Twitch, get a soccer, get all the digital platforms, and you can push that one thing through all of them. I don't care if you got 2 followers over here, 1,000 followers over here, 60,000 over here. They all come together.
Now, do you feel, because we work with independent artists all the time. We feel that like, if you're an artist these days, you can do all this yourself. Like you're saying, you could do it from your living room.
Yes.
Okay. We agree.
I've seen artists. I don't know why they go get deals after they sell a million records themselves independently. Before the streaming, there was downloads. You know, right? Before the streaming.
Well, remember the ringtones were hot for about 2 years.
That's what you see when you released a song back in the days. You had to do a ringtone, a ringback tone, and the download. And that was 3 different RRC codes. People don't understand that.
Oh yeah.
That's game.
Count unless it's the same code, right? On the chart.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you guys are youngins in here. The ringtones, they have Billboard charts for the ringtones on your phone. So your phone would have, whatever song was out there could be the, like Big Pimpin' was like the number one ringtone.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like ringtones were the thing, and you could top the charts with ringtones because people had to buy them for $2.99 or $3.99.
But you remember, they didn't own them. They only stayed on your phone for 1 year, and you had to renew it.
Oh yeah. And this was the record labels frantically trying to figure out how to make money because everyone was getting the shit for free.
Yeah. And you know what? Remember back in the days we used to do the conventions, the Gavins and the Urban Network, and the labels would have all the panels where they used to give us game. You know that. They gave us game. They said, fuck that. Right?
Yeah.
Fuck giving them game no more. No more knowledge. No more game. So when that happened, a lot of artists dummied down. You know what I mean? And so what the label were doing, they were going to technology conventions. And the technology people were telling them, look, fuck the music. Selling the technology. Make them buy the technology to hear the music.
Oh yeah.
That's when they got with phone companies. No more CD players in your cars. So the technology people who came in and started designing how we listen to the music now.
What's crazy about the tech people, and we just went through it because, we didn't do shows for 16 months or 14 months.
Right.
The tech companies came in and said, all right, we're going to live stream. And we're going to go get this artist, and we're going to give this artist a bunch of dough, and we're going to live stream the concert, and everyone's going to buy tickets to it. And that business is dead. It was good for a year. It's gone.
Yeah.
It was here and gone, live streams, and I'll tell you what, we needed it last year because we couldn't do live shows, so we did them. But yeah, technology usually is at the forefront of music in general. Most art it is. But you evolve with it. Okay, you've been in. Who is your favorite rapper out of LA in the '80s, and who is your favorite rapper currently, and unbiased?
The favorite rapper in the 80s, the early 79, 80s, I would say, because it was close to what we want to hear was Ice-T. Ice-T, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
gangster image he portrayed, and you know, his
Yeah.
wife on the album cover. That's what,
Yeah.
but what inspired me was Sugar Hill Gang in 79, 80 was Sugar Hill Gang with Rapper's
Inspired a lot.
Delight. Rapper's Delight. I was very
Mhm.
curious about the scratching and mixing and blending. Like, how in the fuck are they doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's amazing because a lot of people, you know
Yeah,
the history of it, but yeah,
yeah,
Sugar Hill Gang and Rappers. I mean,
yeah,
it's like hip hop was born and really
yeah,
in that year.
yeah.
Um, okay, who do you think like currently? Who do you really like? Even someone you don't work with, who do you really dig that you think is
Who
unique
I
and
right now, man, truthfully, on the business level, on the artistic level, and I'm not being my biased, is my little homie, um, Kendrick. Kendrick, how he came in as K Dot, how he came in
oh,
being humble. I remember running into him in my cousin's gym studio on the west side of Compton. He used to record there. And because they had money in the studio, his passion and hunger was there. I remember Kendrick was calling K Dot, asked my little cousin to buy him some chili Fritos off the ice cream truck. He didn't have a dime.
mhm.
I remember them shutting the studio down. He's like, dang, man, y'all shut it down. He would go to another garage studio. So his energy and passion, he wasn't thirsty. He just had a drive.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean?
No, I know, man. I mean, we were fortunate enough. I'm looking at a poster across the office.
Yeah,
We Hendrick's first show at the Key Club,
right.
and Dre brought him out. You
Exactly.
know,
Those
so it's
those
like,
the pioneers and the legends embraced that. But it was part of the
and
business.
I think LA needed Kendrick. You know, I
Yeah,
think Kendrick brought it all back. It's
yeah,
almost
he
like
did. Yeah,
it almost came full circle.
yeah,
Like
it did.
LA was back
Yeah,
because hip hop got weird for a little. It still
it
can be
did.
a little
It
weird
really
in
did.
areas,
It opened us
but
up to,
it got kind of dull. And I think Kendrick brought
yeah,
it all back, at least
yeah,
for West Coast. You know?
yeah, yeah, he did. He did. He really did. And the reason why, you know, like, I helped Snoop them do the Long Beach City movement. I helped press that record up and, and kind of administer the artists we went on tour. The Pomona City movement. I got behind that with Big Percy and Snoop and took those
Yeah,
guys on tour. And my whole
yeah,
motivation to them was, you guys on the platform. It's like the space shuttle. You on that path and you moving. Now they shoot you into the rocket. Now remember, these are corporations coming together. You are a corporation. You're a corporation. We incubating. We coming together. And in the business world, corporations work together. We don't.
yeah,
And we need to right now. You go to a
yeah.
Chevron station and see McDonald's inside the Chevron station. Those are two corporations who came together, split that writ down the middle. So that's the stuff I was telling the youngsters, on tour, that Snoop was giving you a platform in front of his audience, 20,000 people. Nobody know y'all, but go out there and mingle with the people. Those are your fans. You know,
Yep.
and some of them, C-Star, Willie Mammoth, a lot of them are still pushing the line and using that platform that Snoop gave them the opportunity, to take some of Snoop's blessings. Because,
And what in one sentence, maybe two, what's the best advice you can give for someone who's up and coming right now who maybe doesn't have the fan base and doesn't have the Instagram or Spotify followers? What's the best advice you could give them?
the best advice of the entertainment business, remember, there's the entertainment business, there's the show business, and there's the music business. They all work together. And I get a lot of artists, and I see the passion in some artists. I see the artistic ability in some artists, and I see the entertainment in some of the artists. But you really have to be an entertainer. You have to sleep it, eat it, walk it, talk it, dress it, network it. And it's not a temporary thing, it's a long-term thing. Now, you might not be the best rapper, but you might be the bombest A&R. You might have a talent for some ear. So because you're an artist, don't pass up that young talent. Bring him into your network and use your relationship with people like us and people like you to help push that artist. Maybe that might be the hit you're looking for.
Solid,
That's
solid
where I'm
advice.
at. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough, man, and I appreciate you doing this for everyone. And This will live on our Spotify, Sean Healy Presents, our YouTube, Sean Healy Presents. Someone said put it on IGTV. It will. I'll send you the link. So
Yeah.
this will be out there. You guys can watch it because I think Bigg A gave us all a lot of real good knowledge and a lot of history, man.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you enough.
Man, I thank you, Sean, for inviting me to the platform. I thank God for saying get on there because Sean is a beast in the business. He can bring you in and shut you down.
Come on. But
No,
thank you so
Sean.
much, bud.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
stay healthy. I'll see you soon. We'll get some stuff done.
Sure.
And hopefully I'll see you at the party next Saturday.
Definitely, man. Done deal, bro. Thank you so much, Sean.
All right.
Pleasure.
All right, bud. Peace.
All right.
All right, you guys. That was Bigg A, man. Dog Pound Records. He told you guys all the history about Eazy-E. He told you stuff probably that none of us ever knew about Eazy-E and his relationship. So that's Bigg A. Bigg A is solid. Okay, if you've been paying attention this entire time, there's one trivia question. You got to really know the history of SHP to answer this. The first person that DMs us the answer to this is going to get 2 tickets to our 25th anniversary party next Saturday. It's invite only at the Viper Room. We're giving away shirts and all this shit. But here's the deal, okay? If you can answer this question, first person to DM us the right answer gets 2 tickets to next Saturday's 25th anniversary. And I'm telling you, there's going to be some really special people there. Here's the question. SHP used to do an annual night before Thanksgiving concert. And sometimes the Dog Pound played it. Sometimes Bone Thugs played it, DJ Quick. What was the name of the SHP concert that was done the night before Thanksgiving? What did we call it? First person to DM us the name of that show. There was a title. Night before Thanksgiving, SHP, what was the name of the show? And for bonus, we're going to be doing one this year. So DM me the answer to that. You'll be able to come to the party. You guys can check this out on our IGTV at We Book Bands, Spotify, Sean Healy Presents, YouTube, Sean Healy Presents. You want to book with us? WeBookBands.com. You want to buy some t-shirts? You want to vax and chill? I suggest vaxing and chilling. You can get that at shpmarket.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next month, I'll be live with Madeline Nelson, who's Wyclef's manager. Talk about her journey. You guys stay safe. Peace out, and thank you.